Okay, guys, so I wanted to go live today because I'm so excited. It is officially, let me count, 78, I think, 78 days until the end of the year. And if you watch my last live, I talked about getting real on the last 90 days of 2020 and how you have the power to make the last 90 days of 2020 your best, to show up for yourself more than ever, and to take things to the next level and finish the year strong. And it's all about your vision that you have for your life and your mindset and your perspective. It's also, though, I think a big part of getting to that end goal. Like, it's one thing to be like, yes, I'm totally going to crush the last 90 days of 2020. It's one thing to think that and to even start or make a plan or be excited or inspired. It's a totally other thing to follow through for 90 whole days or for whatever day to day is through the end of the year, and to truly make that commitment. And one of the things that I think really makes a huge difference for people that don't just start, but also finish and finish strong, is they get surrounded with a community. They get surrounded with a community of like-minded people. Because here's what I know to be true. If you're going out to push yourself, to stretch, to grow, to try something new, whether it's in a business, starting a new business, transitioning to a business, pivoting, or maybe it's in your health, a new way that you want to live your life, how you want your relationships to be, whatever, your mindset. There are going to be people that have been in your life that are not going to be able to move forward with you into the new thing because they're not in the same headspace you are. They don't want the same things for their future as you want for yours necessarily. And so it can be hard because when you're in that transition and when you're in that middle, you can feel really alone. You're like, well, I can't talk to the people that I always used to talk to about stuff because they don't get it. They don't get where I'm wanting to move. Maybe they don't support it. Maybe they just don't understand it. Or they're not going to necessarily be encouraging. And then there's other people that are maybe ahead of you, but you're not there yet. And so you just feel in the middle and you feel alone. And it's a really hard place to be because when you're in the middle, I really think that's where the enemy likes to attack so much, because when you're in the middle, you're vulnerable, right? You're by yourself. You don't have a crew cheering you on that's in the same place as you. You have the vision, but it's so much easier to get derailed with discouraging thoughts, fearful thoughts. I know for myself, I can even notice when I've had seasons where I'm really so for example, the last 3-4 months, I've really been in a season of wanting to grow my spiritual life and my faith with the Lord that much stronger. I want to hear from God more clearly. I want to just edify that relationship. And I've noticed in that season, I've had more negative thoughts and more fearful thoughts that I've struggled with than ever before. And I was talking to a mentor about it, and they made such a good point that they were like, that's how it works. They were like, of course, you're growing yourself spiritually. You're connecting more with God. Of course, the enemy doesn't want you to do that. So of course he's going to plant, the battle with the enemy is in your mind. He's going to attack you in your thoughts. He's going to attack you in your outlook, in your perspective. He's going to plant scary stories in your mind to hold you back, and he knows your biggest weaknesses. And so if you find yourself stepping out and going towards something in these last 90 days and you find yourself being triggered, maybe you're more negative than usual, like I've been lately, that I'm overcoming. I'm not currently. I was until I recognized it, right? And then I'm changing my mind. Or maybe you have been just more fearful or more caught up in drama or more distracted or feeling lazy and not focused, or all of a sudden you're unclear. These are all just scary stories and lies that the enemy is planting. And when you buy into them, you give him power and you slow yourself down on the life that you're supposed to be living and what God is calling you to. And so I want to challenge you, first of all, that it's time to get in alignment, girlfriend. If you're feeling lack of clarity, confusion, fear, there's that unsettling feeling in your stomach as you're thinking about moving forward and what you're moving forward to, chances are that some of that, if you're moving forward with what God is calling you to, you should feel peace and excitement in spite of scary stuff, in spite of taking a risk, in spite of stepping out there. And if you're feeling more angst than anything else, it could be a sign that maybe something's out of alignment in your life. For me, I can think back to a time where I was struggling. I knew I wanted to move forward towards something, but I hadn't fully made the decision that I was stepping away from the other thing. And so it was like I was mentally on the fence, right? I hadn't committed and made a decision. Like I'd heard from God, I'd heard the vision of like, okay, this is where I'm being called to. This is what I'm called to do. But I hadn't made the solid decision that I was all in on that. And when you're all in, you're all out, right? When you're on the fence, you're not anywhere. When you are 99% in, you're 100% out. You guys have probably heard these phrases before, but it's so, so true. And it wasn't until I could make that recognize that I hadn't made the decision, that I was sitting on the fence, that moment of when I realized that, and then actually making the choice to make the confident decision that I'm stepping towards what God has for me, that was when everything shifted. So I really want to encourage you, if you're feeling that, girlfriend, it's time to get in alignment with what God is calling you to. Quit sitting on the fence, quit hemming and hawing and being like, okay, God, I'm going to follow you, but I'm still going to keep my toes over here because I'm scared and I don't fully trust you. And so I'm just going to sit on this little fence over here and be half in and half out and hold on to this old thing while I'm still trying to reach for the new thing. And then I'm going to wonder why the heck it's not working, why I feel stressed and anxious and I'm not making progress. Well, that's why. Sometimes you have to let go of good so you can hold on to great. And that's what God's waiting for you to do. So I really want to challenge you with that. And then the other thing I wanted to say, I'm so super excited because at the end of this month, my high performance challenge week is kicking off. It's a free challenge for people to participate in. And it's a part of my the high performance challenge is a part of my Empowered Life Crew Facebook group. Get in the Facebook group if you've not already. We are a crew of women that just encourage and lift each other up. And that's my thing that I was saying is I feel like it's so important right now to make sure you're surrounded with other like-minded women. My Facebook group is a place where women come together who are ambitious, who want to grow a business and also thrive in their life and not sacrifice family, energy, or joy. And that's what I help you do. So anyways, this high performance challenge is kicking off. And a part of the high performance challenge is going to be my brand new HP70. And I want to challenge you guys to jump in on this. Even if you don't want to do the week-long challenge, the high performance challenge, jump in on HP70. What is HP70? Well, it's basically giving yourself a final 70 days of 2020 challenge to say, you know what, the final 70 days are going to be my best. I chose the number 70 because, you know, the number 7 is biblical. It is the number of completion. And what better way to think about the end of your year, but other than you're stepping into the completion of what God has for you. You're not finishing ho-hum. You're not just reaching across the finish line and throwing spaghetti on the wall and seeing where it sticks. No, you're going to take the final 70 days of 2020 with intention, with focus, with positive energy, and with faith. And you're going to create a strong finish and step into the completed vision and calling that God has for you by the end of this year so that you can step into your new year with a fresh new beginning, with fresh energy, and with fresh momentum. So here's how HP70 is going to work. It's going to kick off officially on October 23rd because that is the official final 70 days of 2020. In HP70, all it is that every day you take my 5 Alive daily challenge. So your goal is to complete 5 Alive, which is 5 things every day for the final 70 days of the year. And you can customize it and make it what it means for you. But basically, here's what they are. Number 1 is move your body. Move your body. So the reason I said move your body is because I really think that it's easy to get stressed out. Like I've done challenges before where it's like you have to do this for 30 minutes a day or do 10 squats or work out this much or whatever. And I used to get really like it would shut me down because life isn't perfect, right? And especially as a mama of a 2-year-old, some days I have time for a 15-minute workout. Sometimes I have time for a 40-minute workout. Sometimes I have time to take my kid for a walk and move my body that way. But what I have really come to learn over the last 2.5 years of having a little boy, today I'm in the best shape that I've ever been in my life, physically, like inside and out, meaning like my body is in great shape, but also I feel good. I have energy, mental clarity, less brain fog. And I really attribute it to the fact that way back when I had my little boy grandson, I committed to moving my body. I let go of all the expectations, the judgments. I decided it didn't have to fit in a box, and the imperfect action beats perfect procrastination. So I wasn't going to worry if I only had 10 minutes or if I had 30 minutes. If he was napping and I had 10 minutes, I was going to move my body and do a 10-minute workout. Other days I would do more, do less, whatever. But that just created this amazing habit of consistency that totally changed the game for me. So that's number one, is move your body. Number two is drink half your body weight in ounces of water every single day. I have my Yeti cup right here. This is 32 ounces. So I already can know exactly how many Yeti cups of water I need to drink every single day. If you're not a water drinker, at first this can feel really difficult, but I promise the more you get in the habit, like I crave water now, and I can tell an actual difference in how my body feels and how my mindset feels when I don't have enough water. It will shock you. Water helps your metabolism. It helps your energy level. It gives you more clarity and focus. And it also just helps your body function better. So it's so important. So have your body weight in ounces of water every day. Number 3 in 5 Alive is have a personal power session. What's a personal power session? It just basically means when you start your morning, have a personal moment for yourself. And again, I didn't want to put anything specific on this about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, or whatever you have to do during that time, because again, I feel like it's so easy as women to get caught up in that expectation and that box that we're trying to fit into. And then when we like wake up late one day and we're like, I don't have an hour to start my day today. I only have 20 minutes. We don't even do 20 minutes because we already feel like a loser because we didn't have the goal originally, you know? And so I just say every morning, again, some days this for me is 10 minutes, some days it's 30 minutes, some days it's an hour. It just depends on what's happening for me in that day and if I woke up on time, because I'm still working on being a great morning person. It hasn't always been my strength. So personal power session, it just means in the morning, however much time you can take, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, take time. And during this time, this is for you. What do I normally do with this time? I sit in silence. I pray. I meditate. I practice gratitude. I read my Bible. I reflect. I sip my coffee. I read my Bible more. I guess I already said that, but it's true. One of my personal growth books is always sitting there. I read a few pages in that. It's just my time to build myself up and set my intention for the day so that I'm not heading into my day reactionary. It's so powerful. I promise a personal power session will change your life. Number 4 is write out your affirmations and goals daily. So I have a notebook, and I'll just throw, you don't have to whatever, but this is my notebook, and you can see at the top, it's 1 through 10. That is my daily affirmations. I write them out at the top of my notebook every single day, and they're basically my goals written out like they've already happened. And this process of not just thinking about my goals or speaking them out, but actually writing them, when you write things, it causes more retention in your brain because of the amount of extra muscles it takes to write versus just to read or just to speak. It engages more senses. So writing out your affirmations every day makes a huge difference in remembering them and helping your brain to focus on them throughout the day. So for example, if your goal is, let's say real estate, your goal is you want to have 10 closings by the end of 2020, then one of your affirmations might be, I have 10 new clients that are closing by the end of 2020, and XYZ is my income from that. Write it out, claim it, own it. I promise it'll shift the way you think about things, and your mind will go to work to find it. And the 5th thing of 5 Alive is do one thing every single day to make progress towards those goals. One thing that I think gets people stuck sometimes is we set goals and we affirm them and all the things, but then we're not actually doing that much to move the needle. And the reality is, things take time. I truly believe in the 90-day rule, which is the things you do today, you're going to see a lot of the fruits of that labor 90 days from now. You've got to plant seeds so that you can harvest a crop, right? And so one of the biggest mistakes that people make is not taking enough action and just overthinking and getting stuck in perfectionism and procrastination, and it does not serve you. So if you want to have a strong 70 days, finish 2020 strong, roll into 2021 with power, with intention, with momentum, with progress, then you've got to take action. So it doesn't have to be a big action, but every day, do at least one thing that's going to move the needle towards your goal. Okay, so that is HP70. I'm so excited to be launching this on the 23rd. I hope you guys will join me with it. Comment below HP70 if you will be in on the challenge. Those of you that are watching this that are already in my high performance empowered life crew, you guys make sure you're in the high performance challenge as well. It's gonna be so much fun. If you've not yet joined the high performance challenge, get in there, girlfriend. It is gonna be so much fun, and it kicks off at the end of this month. It's 5 days of leveling up in business, and you're gonna love it. So you guys have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.